A very good morning to Dr. Aiman bin Muhammad Alin. We are from Group 4. Today, we're gonna present about the final project report Deepwater Horizon oil spill. So, this is the picture of Deepwater Horizon oil spill. These are the table of contents which we will talk about after this. So, actually, what is OSH? OSH is a discipline concerned with the prevention of work-related accidents and disease. Second is about the protection and promotion of workers' health. Its goal is to improve working conditions and the environment. Next, I will give to Madhavan to explain what is hazard symbol.
Thank you, Haikal. I would like to take over from here. Now I'm going to talk about hazard symbol, why hazard symbol is important. First, hazard symbol, also known as warning symbols, are recognizable symbol used to alert people to the presence of hazardous or harmful product, locations, or items such as electric current, toxins, or radioactivity. The usage of hazard symbol is frequently governed by legalization and governed by standard groups. Hazard symbol can have a variety of colors, background, borders, and extra information to indicate the type of hazard in its severity. Now I'm gonna talk about hazard symbol that is used in deep water horizon oil spill. First is the flammable hazard sign, which you can see at your bottom left. The flammable sign indicates that a substance is combustible. It can also mean that a substance is hydrophobic, self-heating, self-reactive, or produce a flammable gas. It might also mean that a substance contains organic peroxide. Second is skull and crossbones. The skull and crossbones signify that a substance is potential fatal to human. And the last one is explosion hazard sign. The symbol within the pictogram shows as exploding bomb. Product with the pictogram present serve fire and explosion hazard. Significant injury and property damage could result from incidents involving this product. Product which is pictogram are not commonly used because of their serve hazards. When used, they must be handled and stored strictly controllable conditions. Specialized training and supervision are required. And I would like to pass it to the next person.
Thank you, Matt. Now, I will explain the introduction of the project. So, actually, we choose the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. This is because the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, also known as the BP oil spill, was an industrial disaster that began on April 20, 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico on the BP operated Macondo prospect and was estimated to be 8 to 31% larger in volume than the previous largest, the ice stock 1 oil spill which also occurred in the Gulf of Mexico. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill is considered one of the world's worst environmental disaster happens due to a surge of natural gas blasted through a concrete core recently installed by contractor Halliburton in order to seal the well for later use on the night of April 20. Hydrocarbons shot up the well at an uncontrollable rate and ignited, causing a series of explosions on the rig. Now I will now I will pass to Aiman to explain the accident details. Aiman can carry on.
Thank you, Haika. Uh, Accident detail, timeline, and chronology. The disease was caused by an issue that began during drilling because the pressure was too high. BP had to hard digging into the seabed around 2,000 feet and 610 meters higher than indeed. The hole needed to be lined with a casing, which is a concentrate pipe that keeps the hole from caving in. The company ultimately chose to utilize a longer casing which would be less prone to leak and would be easier to cement into place. Concentrate will be injected into the area between the casing and the surrounding earth to keep it in place. The concentrate must be completely surround the casing in order for it to be settable and resistant to oil leakage from the side. And I would like to pass the next presenter.
Um,
Okay, now I'm going to talk about accident investigation and analysis. Thank you, Emma, for the strong presentation. Now is the annulus cement barrier did not isolate the hydrocarbons. Due to the design of cement slurry, the accuracy of cement placement was critical due to the narrow margin between pore pressure and fracture gradient. To develop an acceptable slurry design, and placement strategy, a complex cement job design with a base oil spacer, cementing spacer, lead cement, foam cement, and tail cement was recommended and implemented. Next point is the shoe track barriers did not isolate the hydrocarbon. Following the failure of the annular cement to effectively isolate the reservoir, a mechanical barrier failure allowed hydrocarbon ingress into wellbore. The investigation team considered three options for ingress. Ingress through the shoe track barriers, ingress through the casing hanger seal assembly, and ingress through production casing and components. That is all from me. I would like to pass to Umaira.
uh, Thank you, Madhavan. So we are going next to effect of accident. Oil continued to sink to the ocean floor for more than a year. The Gulf Coast states' economic outlook was bleak, has had an impact on not just the cleanup workers' health, but also the health of individuals living in the damaged region. So the Gulf Coast states' economic outlook was bleak as the spill impacted many of the sectors that citizens relied on at the height of the leak. More than a third of federal Gulf waters was restricted to fishing owing to contamination concerns. Next one, it altered the quantity of sand that accumulated on the seafloor for years thereafter, depriving them of oxygen. Oil concentration were 100 times greater than background levels across the 1,300 miles of polluted beaches immediately after the disaster, and they were still 10 times higher 8 years later. Has an impact are not just cleanup workers' health, but also the health of individuals living in the damaged region. And it has ramifications for future oil disasters across the world. Following the spill, these symptoms included headache, shortness of breath, exhaustion, cough, scarage, diarrhea, low back pain, depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Early studies have also revealed that cleaning personnel and surrounding residents had an increase in respiratory problems shortly after being exposed to the oil spill, and that this symptom lasts for a long time afterward. So next, thank you.
After we have learned about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, what we can learn and improvement and recommendation is maintaining the required. We have learned that much has been learned about Deepwater Horizon and what went wrong after exhaustive investigation and impact studies. Maintaining the required pressure safety margin inside the drill pipe necessitates preventive maintenance because the blowout prevents in the deep water horizon were not examined and were not functioning properly. The oil spill compression reiterated the necessity for a third party independent evaluation of blowout preventers. I would like to pass to Haika.
Next is about the patented mixtures of surfactants, solvents, and emulsifier. If that help oil mix into water and be degraded by microbes over time. This due the Deepwater Horizon oil disaster reignited discussion about the use of depressants which are patented mixture of surfactants, solvents and emulsifier that helps oil mix into the water and be degraded by microbes over the time. While this strategy can dis- while this strategy can decrease the environmental impact of oil spills on coastal ecosystem, other experts are concerned about the chemical's negative effect on marine life and those attempting to clean up the spill, as Juliana Vigilian reports. Next, finally, is about the conclusion.
For the conclusion is oil spill like the Deepwater Horizon tragedy are high profile, probably example of the harm caused by fossil fuel on aquatic system. PAH, on the other hand, come from a variety of resources in the environment, including emission from ships, automobiles, and industrial site. They are common component of non-point resource urban stormwater runoff and the hazardous to fish and other aquatic animals as a result. That's all from me. Thank you.
Um, the loss of control, the Macondo well initiated a tragedy of momentous consequences. 11 workers lost their lives, and the environment and economy of the Gulf region were damaged in ways that are still being assessed. Furthermore, the blowout and subsequent oil spill severely damaged public confidence in both the offshore oil and gas industry and the federal regulatory process. A concerted effort by all participants will be necessary to overcome the reputational damage caused by this event. As the nation struggles with the consequences of dependency on foreign oil, it is appropriate that the risks associated with the exploration for and production of oil be factored into political decisions on where, when, and how to drill. Okay, thank you. That's all from me.
That's all for today. Thank you.